The stars stretched endlessly around the drifting ship. Cold and silent, Captain Duran floated in the control room, staring at the blank screens, engines dead, communications offline. Supplies running dangerously low. Months had passed since the accident, and the vast emptiness of space pressed in on him like a weight. Every passing light reminded him of home, of worlds he might never see again, and of the isolation that now defined his life. The ship creaked softly as it drifted, metal groaning under the pressure of the void, and Jarin checked the life support systems for the 100th time. A strange feeling crept over him, as if he were being watched. Though the ship was supposed to be empty, sensors flickered with faint readings. Tiny blips that did not match any known vessel or celestial body. Jarin's hand hovered over the console. Hesitating, fear and curiosity warring within him. Just a glitch, he muttered, but the feeling would not leave. A chill crawling across his spine. He moved through the corridors, checking for damage, noticing things he had not seen before, lights flickering, strange energy readings spiking for brief moments. Then, out of nowhere, a soft hum echoed through the ship. Unfamiliar and melodic, Duran froze, scanning every panel, every sensor, but the source remained unseen. And then she appeared, a figure stepping silently from the shadows. Graceful and alien, yet undeniably alive. Her skin shimmered faintly under the dim lights, eyes glowing softly as she regarded the captain with calm authority. "I have made this place my home," she said. Voice musical, resonating strangely in the empty hall. Jarin stepped back, shock and disbelief flooding him. "Who? What are you? How did you get on my ship?" The alien woman smiled, tilting her head. "It is irrelevant how I arrived, Captain. What matters is that this vessel is now under my care." He wanted to react, to demand she leave, but something in her presence stopped him. A strange confidence, a silent power that filled the empty corridors. Sensors lit up around her, systems recognizing her. But Jarin could not explain why. The ship's AI, long dormant in parts of the vessel, seemed to acknowledge her presence without resistance. She walked calmly through the control room, touching consoles, activating panels that had been silent for months, repairing damage as if she had known the ship all her life. Jarin's fear shifted to confusion, and curiosity began to edge its way in. A slow understanding that this woman might hold the key to survival. Yet suspicion lingered. He could not trust easily. And the emptiness of the void had taught him that appearances were never what they seemed. She paused, looking out at the stars through the viewport. The void is vast, endless, and unforgiving. Yet this place offers safety, warmth, and life. Jarin swallowed, unsure whether to feel relief or dread. For the first time in months, the ship felt alive again. Humming with renewed energy, systems responding, lights stabilizing, engines blinking with latent power. And as the alien woman turned to him, eyes calm and unyielding, one thought burned in Jarin's mind. This ship was no longer just his, and survival in the void would depend on understanding her, trusting her, or finding a way to fight her. The silence of the void had ended, replaced by the soft hum of life returning, and a mystery that would change everything. Jarin could hardly believe his eyes as the alien woman moved through the corridors, her presence commanding yet calm. She touched consoles with grace, systems responding instantly, lights stabilizing, engines humming softly. "You cannot stay here," Jarin said, voice shaking. Though his mind raced with confusion and fear, "This is my ship, my life, my mission." The woman tilted her head, eyes glowing faintly. "This ship is more than yours, Captain. It belongs to anyone who respects its power, its purpose, and its legacy." Jarin frowned, trying to make sense of her words. But her calm confidence unnerved him. Every instinct screamed caution. Yet part of him could not ignore that the ship itself seemed to respond to her, systems activating as if recognizing her authority. "You don't understand," he said firmly. "I have drifted for months, supplies are low, and now you claim it as your home?" She smiled, a serene expression that hid intentions he could not read. "I do not claim it to fight, I claim it to survive, to protect, and to awaken its true potential." Sensors flickered around them, and Joran noticed the ship responding to her presence in ways he had never seen. Shields strengthening, engines testing themselves. He took a cautious step closer, curiosity edging out fear. "And why should I let you stay?" "Because," she replied softly, "the void is dangerous, and your drifting brought you here to me. Or perhaps me to you. It matters little. What matters is survival. And I can ensure it." Joran hesitated, torn between mistrust and the desperate need for help. He had survived months alone, and yet the alien woman's skills, her knowledge, and her confidence were undeniable. She walked to the main console, fingers dancing over controls, repairing systems, activating dormant shields, and calibrating engines. "The ship is alive again," she said quietly, "and with me. It will reach its full power." Joran watched as monitors displayed energy readings, propulsion systems, and weapon diagnostics all stabilizing. More responsive than they had been in months. A part of him marveled, and another part warned him to act carefully. Trust was dangerous. But necessity demanded compromise. "I will stay for now," he said finally, voice low, "but do not forget this is my ship, and my rules still apply." She nodded, almost approvingly. "Then we will follow your rules. Temporarily, Captain, until the ship decides otherwise." Even as she spoke, subtle alarms began to signal distant energy readings. Unknown ships moving in the void, reminding them that survival would not be simple. Joran realized that with her aboard, the ship was stronger, systems working in harmony, yet a part of him braced for unknown consequences. The alien woman turned toward the viewport, gazing at the endless stars. "The void tests all who drift, punishes the unprepared, and rewards those who adapt." Joran swallowed, sensing that this alliance, uneasy as it was, might be his only chance to survive the dangers ahead. As the ship hummed with renewed life, the two figures stood in silence, one human, one alien, both aware that the vastness of space held more threats than they could imagine. And in that moment, drifting no longer felt like being lost, but like standing at the edge of a new journey, uncertain, dangerous, and full of possibility. The ship glided silently through the void, engines humming softly, shields holding steady. Joran watched the alien woman move through the corridors, her presence confident, her movements precise. "You've been out here a long time," she said quietly, turning to him, eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. "I have," Joran replied, keeping his voice steady, though unease lingered. "Months adrift, alone, and now I don't know what to think of you," she smiled, a mysterious curve of her lips. "You will learn, Captain. There is much you do not understand, not about me, and not about this ship." As they traveled together, she began to reveal fragments of her past, her world, and why she had claimed the vessel. She spoke of distant stars, civilizations older than humanity, and knowledge of technologies humans had never dreamed of. Joran listened carefully, curiosity growing, realizing her understanding of ship systems was beyond anything he had ever encountered. Together, they explored hidden compartments, ancient consoles, and dormant systems, her guidance activating functions that had been silent for centuries. "You see," she explained, "this ship is more than a vessel. It is a key, a guardian, and a legacy of survival. For the first time, Jaren began to see her not as a threat, but as a partner. Someone whose skills could mean the difference between life and death in the void. Suddenly, alarms blared through the corridors. Sensors detecting movement outside the ship, energy spikes approaching rapidly. Jaren's hand flew to the control panel. What is it? Are they hostile? The alien woman's eyes glowed brighter. Perhaps? But we will see. Stay calm. Through the viewport, a small fleet of unknown ships appeared. Sleek and dangerous, scanning the area for intruders. Jaren felt his heart pound, months of isolation making him unprepared for sudden threats. But she moved calmly, directing drones, activating shields, and readying weapon systems. Follow my lead, she said softly. Trust me, Captain. And we will survive this encounter. The ships closed in, energy beams flaring across space. But the alien woman's coordination of the ship and drones was flawless. Jaren marveled as drones intercepted attacks. Shields absorbed energy and weapons struck precisely, neutralizing threats before they could damage the vessel. Amidst the chaos, she revealed more secrets, pointing to hidden panels, showing him how to navigate uncharted regions and avoid dangers he could not see. As the enemy ships retreated, Jaren felt a strange mix of relief and admiration. The alien woman proving her worth again and again. You've kept your skills hidden well, he said quietly. I underestimated you, she laughed softly. A sound like music in the quiet corridors. And you will continue to underestimate me, Captain, until the void itself tests us. In the aftermath, the two moved through the ship together, repairing minor damage, discussing strategy, and slowly learning to trust one another. The isolation of space no longer felt as heavy, replaced by a growing bond. A partnership forged in survival and shared secrets. And as the stars passed by outside, endless and silent, Jaren realized that drifting alone had ended, replaced by a journey that would test both their skills. Courage and trust, yet questions remained. Mysteries about her past, her motives, and the true potential of the ship that neither of them fully understood. And somewhere deep in the ship's systems, dormant functions hummed softly, waiting for the next challenge. Ready to awaken fully when the time came, the ship moved steadily through a dense asteroid field. Engines humming, shields shimmering against stray debris. Jaren's hands gripped the controls tightly, every sense alert, every nerve on edge. The alien woman stood nearby, her eyes glowing softly, scanning sensors and analyzing energy readings with calm precision. Something approaches, she said quietly. And it is not friendly. Jaren glanced at the viewport, spotting sleek ships weaving between asteroids, their hulls dark and menacing, weapons glinting. They're attacking, he muttered, heart pounding. But why here? Why now? The alien woman's lips curved into a faint smile. Because the void tests us, Captain. And only those who adapt will survive. The enemy ships fired first. Energy bolts streaking through the void, lighting the darkness with flashes of red and blue. Jaren pulled the ship into evasive maneuvers. Engines flaring, shields absorbing the initial impact. The alien woman's hands danced across the console, activating drones, redirecting power to weapons and shields. Her movements flawless and precise. Target the lead ship, she commanded softly. The rest will follow. Jaren followed her instructions, trusting her fully despite the tension, and saw as drones swarmed the enemy, intercepting fire, disabling engines, and striking with deadly accuracy. One enemy vessel exploded, debris scattering across the void, and the remaining ships hesitated, confused by the precision and coordination. We are stronger than they expect, she said quietly. But this is only the beginning, Jaren nodded, adrenaline coursing through him, feeling a strange mix of fear and exhilaration. as if the danger made him more alive than months of drifting ever had. The enemy regrouped, attacking in formation, but the alien woman anticipated every move. Guiding the ship and drones with intuition and experience, they weaved through the asteroid field, avoiding collisions, striking from unexpected angles. Turning the battle into a deadly dance of strategy and skill, Jurin marveled at her knowledge, realizing that she knew the void and technology better than anyone he had ever met. A massive enemy cruiser broke formation, attempting to flank them, but the alien woman activated hidden systems on the ship, weapons emerging from concealed ports, firing with precision that destroyed the cruiser in moments. Impressive, Jurin admitted. I've never seen anything like this. She glanced at him, eyes calm. You will learn, Captain. That survival in the void requires more than strength. It requires understanding, adaptation, and trust. The remaining enemy ships retreated, unable to face the coordinated attack, leaving behind damaged vessels and scattered debris. Breathing heavily, Jurin surveyed the damage and repairs already underway. Systems responding to her commands as if alive. Why help me? He asked softly, still unsure of her motives. The alien woman smiled, turning to the viewport. Because drifting alone is dangerous, and because together we can survive what the void throws at us, as silence returned. Broken only by the hum of engines and the gentle pulse of shields, Jurin realized their partnership had been tested and proven. Yet questions lingered about her past, her knowledge, and the ship itself. Mysteries that would not be revealed easily. The stars stretched endlessly beyond the viewport, a reminder that the void held dangers still unknown, and that drifting was never truly over. And as they prepared to continue their journey, Jurin knew one thing with certainty. With her aboard, the ship was alive, formidable, and no longer alone. The ship glided silently through calm space, engines humming softly, shields shimmering faintly. Jurin stood at the main viewport, gazing at the endless stars, a sense of wonder mixed with relief filling him. Beside him, the alien woman moved with quiet grace, checking systems, her glowing eyes reflecting both the stars and the ship's gentle hum. Months of drifting, fear, and uncertainty had led to this moment. A fragile but growing partnership. You've saved this ship more times than I can count, Jurin said quietly, voice tinged with respect. And yet, I still do not fully understand you, she smiled, a soft, almost human expression. Understanding is not always needed, Captain. Survival and trust are enough. Together they explored the ship, repairing minor systems, upgrading navigation, and activating long-dormant technology. Every console, every panel, every hidden compartment revealed new potential. Mysteries of the ship slowly coming to life under her guidance. They worked side by side, sharing knowledge, combining human ingenuity with alien skill, creating a vessel stronger than either could have imagined alone. Outside the ship, distant worlds glimmered in the void. Planets that had long been empty now within reach. Potential homes and sources of resources. Jurin realized that drifting was no longer a curse, but a journey of discovery, partnership, and new beginnings. The alien woman paused at a console, her hands hovering, eyes scanning the stars. We have survived the void, faced threats, and adapted, but now we must find a home, Jurin nodded, understanding fully. A place to rest, to repair, and perhaps to belong. Together, they set a course for a quiet system. Planets rich with resources and beauty. Untouched and welcoming, as they approached the first planet, automated systems activated landing protocols, sensors scanning for hazards, shields preparing for atmospheric entry. The alien woman guided them smoothly, every move precise, every calculation perfect. and Jarin marveled at her skill, trust solidified through shared danger. They landed on the planet's surface, the ship settling on rocky terrain, engines powering down, the hum softening to a gentle pulse. Outside, the alien woman stepped forward, surveying the landscape, then turning to Jarin. "This can be our home." "Captain, for you, for me, for this ship," Jarin smiled, feeling a sense of peace he had not felt in months, a new beginning. Together, they walked through the corridors, systems now fully operational, lights glowing warmly, the ship alive and welcoming. For the first time since drifting, Jarin felt hope, companionship, and the promise of a future. The alien woman stood at the viewport, looking at the planet below, and whispered softly, "The void is vast, dangerous, and full of secrets. But home is wherever we choose to make it." Jarin joined her, nodding, feeling the bond between them, human and alien, captain and survivor, intertwined by experience, trust, and respect. As the sun rose over the distant horizon of the new planet, the ship reflected its light, a symbol of survival, adaptation, and a partnership forged in the depths of space and in the silence of the stars. One truth was clear: drifting alone had ended. But together, they had found a new home, a new journey, and a new beginning. The void still waited beyond, endless and mysterious, but now they faced it not as strangers, not as adversaries, but as allies, companions, and friends, and the ship, once adrift and silent, thrummed with life, a testament to survival, courage, and the power of unexpected bonds. The stars stretched endlessly above, and humanity and something beyond humanity had found a home among them.